Hi, guys, welcome back to My Anxiety Journey, episode 2, where I'm going to be talking to you about the things that I do to cope with anxiety. Did you know that sour candy actually can help reduce anxiety? It's something that I found out more recently, and I did a little research for us, so I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. But I first wanted to start off this episode by saying and reminding you that you are your own person. Everybody's anxiety journey is different. There might be things that work for you, there might not be things that work for you that we're going to talk about today, and just to remind yourself that it's a journey and that is okay, and to give yourself some grace. All right, let's get into it. Anxiety rushes the body with adrenaline, and the idea of that is to keep you safe. But it can be very frustrating if you're not being chased after by a bear and you're feeling that fight or flight mode for no apparent reason, which is pretty much what we call anxiety. This is something that I have dealt with for the longest time, pretty much since I was little. It's come in different ways in my adult life as well. I would say the last most worst anxiety slash panic attack that I ever experienced was about a year ago. One of the tricks that I found out during that time was that you can actually hold ice cubes to help reduce anxiety. So if you're feeling an anxiety attack coming on, or if you're in the midst of one, try holding ice cubes in the palms of your hand. It might help distract your brain a little bit from that anxious feeling that you're having. Another thing you can do is chew on the ice cubes, which might help, again, distract your brain because it's cold, it's different. It's utilizing a different sensory. And an example of that too with my own personal anxiety journey is one time I was driving home. I don't remember where I was driving home from or why I was anxious. Sometimes I don't know why I'm anxious, I just am. And I stopped by an ice cream shop on my way home and I grabbed, I think it was like vanilla ice cream. I went home and I ran a cold shower and I sat in the cold shower on the shower floor eating my vanilla ice cream. So it's just things like that sometimes that you have to do in order to just distract your brain from the anxiety that you're feeling. And I know cold really soothes me, so it might be worth giving cool things a shot. So this brings me back to the sour candy that I mentioned at the beginning. So we all have the amygdala part of our brain, which is the feel part of our brain, and then we have the frontal lobe, which is the quick thinking part of our brain. So with sour candy, if you eat or suck on a piece of sour candy, it's very overwhelming to the sensory part of your brain, which is the feel part of the amygdala. I'm not a doctor, but I did a little research, and if you're able to distract that part of your brain, which is kind of causing that anxiety physical feeling, then it will give the frontal lobe part of your brain a moment to catch its breath and be like, oh, okay, there's no reason to be feeling this anxious, and you're able to calm your nerves a little bit because you're distracting yourself. So another thing, or I guess it goes back to the ice cubes, just distracting yourself using other sensories, parts of your body that you're able to remove yourself from that anxious feeling, disassociate a bit and remind yourself that you're okay and that you're not being chased after by a bear. Because I can't tell you how many times that I swear my body thinks I'm being chased after by a bear, but I am sitting at work. You just never know when it's going to come on. Another thing I wanted to, remind you to do is exercise, whether it's a part of your everyday routine or if it's something that you are trying to add to your routine because you're feeling more anxious. I know exercise can be really wonderful to help calm the nerves and just keep those happy endorphins going. So I would recommend yoga. I love hot yoga, or you can do cardio, but don't, push yourself with the cardio. It just might help you kind of catch your breath because you're reminding your brain, like in order to jog on the treadmill, that you have to breathe in order to maintain that jog. So you might be able to kick that breathiness feeling of the anxiety that you were feeling beforehand. If you're feeling anxious at night, I would highly recommend just getting out of bed and doing like 20 squats. I know that sounds really bizarre, but if you're able to do like 20 squats and just catch your breath, just get your heart rate up just enough, you might be able to get back into a rhythm of breathing normally and fall asleep, which is what we all would love to do from time to time. Avoid caffeine at all costs. If you're watching this video, you are now not a coffee drinker. You are a decaf coffee drinker. And remind yourself that the coffee is probably not worth the anxiety that you're going to feel in an hour. So do your best to avoid coffee. If you really need that caffeine in the morning, try decaf, because sometimes that's just enough caffeine to get your caffeine fix, but you're not going to trigger your anxiety. Or maybe try an iced tea. I know tea has a little less caffeine in it than coffee does. So give that a try. Avoid caffeine at as much cost as you can. If you haven't noticed, this is Nash and Cowboy. They are my kitties. Love them to death. If I put them in the other room, they whine and cry, so that distracts, of course, me talking in the microphone. But if they're in here, they just want to be right where I am, so they'll come in and out of screen, I'm sure. I have put together a 10-step routine that I want you to start incorporating into your day-to-day life to help reduce some of that anxiety that you might be feeling. So step 1, I want you to get 8 hours of sleep every night. If that means going to bed a little earlier, putting your phone down, listening to a meditation app so you can fall asleep and get those 8 hours of sleep if you can. I know sometimes with anxiety it's hard to get sleep, so just, maybe a little melatonin might help. I have, weighted blanket, like a warm weighted blanket could really help. Sleepy tea, which is amazing. Try that all out. Don't underestimate your sleep. It can be really important for anxiety. Number 2, always make your bed. I don't know about you, but if I have a clean environment, I know I feel a lot better. So if I get up every morning and I force myself to make my bed, it just makes me feel better about coming home at the end of the day, especially if it was a long day, and coming home to a nice clean place will make me feel a lot more peaceful. Number 3, drink water. If you're going to drink any coffee, drink water before you drink your decaf coffee. Drink a lot of water if you can. I know that seems maybe a little redundant, but if you're able to drink like maybe a glass an hour, I think that could be really helpful, reducing anxiety, keeping your body hydrated, and of course, that'll keep your brain happy. Let's see. Number 4, do 15 minutes of exercise before you check your social media. I have started getting up every morning, getting out of bed, doing something before I check social media. I say exercise, but you could really just, go outside and walk your dog around the block, which is exercise. You could simply run an errand really fast, come home, maybe clean your room or clean your house, anything, like that, just to get up and out of bed and doing something, moving around before you check social media. Number 5, music. I've already put together a feel-good playlist that you can check out in the description below, or if you're watching this on Instagram, it'll be in my bio. But if you click on that link, it'll take you to a Spotify playlist where I've curated a nice feel-good, good mood, happy vibes playlist that you should definitely check out and listen to it on your morning walk, listen to it on your way to work. But music can be a really great way to disassociate yourself from the stressors that might be causing that anxiety. Let's see. Number 6, always carry sour candy, because apparently it's really helpful in a quick situation where you might be feeling an anxiety or panic attack coming on. Maybe try out that sour candy. Might be worth it. Oh, okay. Number 7, I think look good, feel good can go a long way for just having a really great day. So if you get up out of bed and you're not feeling the best, maybe just put on an outfit you really like, or wear those new shoes that you bought and you haven't worn yet. I don't know, putting yourself into that mindset that I'm going to have a really great day and I'm going to feel really good about myself could help set up your day for success and eliminate that anxiety that can be caused later on in the day. Number 8, try to get in 30 to 45 minutes of exercise at least 4 times per week. Again, we talked about that yoga, we talked about the cardio, anything that you want to do. Get your friends involved, make it fun, go for a hike, but get that exercise in. I think that'll really help, again, that feel-good endorphin thing we talked about. And let's see, number 9, cut out excess sugar. So if you are stopping at Dairy Queen on the way home from work, or I guess maybe a more common thing would be stop at McDonald's and get that McFlurry. Reward yourself, by all means. Get your McFlurry on, but if you can, cut out the excess sugar. Maybe just go, try incorporating some fruit into your diet to get that sweet, satisfy that sweet craving, and just cut down on the sugar if you can, but reward yourself. Always get yourself that McFlurry, but maybe just cut it back a little bit. Number 10, keep a journal. I think this one's really important so that you can look back on times that you were anxious in the past and try and get to the root cause of what's causing your anxiety, which could be really helpful to just maybe try and find a solution to what's causing you to be so anxious. So I hope this was helpful, and I really enjoy talking about this. I'm very passionate about this. It's something I've always dealt with, and I want to help people feel better. So if you have anything that has helped you in the past, be sure to comment below. Please subscribe to my page. I'm an artist. I make really awesome music, and you should check it out on all streaming platforms. And until then, I guess gear up for episode 3 where I'm going to do a Q&A. So leave your questions below so that I can be sure to answer them in episode 3, and subscribe so you don't miss out on that third episode. See you soon. Bye.